Okay, so
Yeah.
the crust is divided up into two types, the continental crust and your oceanic crust. And both of these are they're solid, okay, they're all solid, and they're sitting on the topmost part of the mantle below,
Yeah.
which is solid, it's rigid upper mantle, okay? And the two of these together, or the three of these together, your continental, your oceanic, and your upper mantle is known as the lithosphere, okay? So what's the lithosphere made of? Can you tell me again?
The oceanic crust, the continental crust, and the rigid upper mantle.
The rigid part of the upper mantle. Okay, right. And I'm just going to flick up
Does
a
the
little bit
oceanic
here.
crust
Is the oceanic crust on top of the continental crust, or are they side by side?
side by side?
No, well they are kind of, no, it goes underneath it. It doesn't, in your books and all that, they tend to show it separately, but actually,
Yeah.
and this is why I'm going to show you this diagram here, right?
Yeah.
Here's the lithosphere, okay? This here is both your continental and your oceanic crust. Do you see that? Can you
Yeah.
see my mouse? Yeah?
Yes.
Do you
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
the mouse? Okay, so what you've got then is that the oceanic crust actually does go deep underneath the continent, right? But it gets very thin underneath the continent because the
Yeah. I
weight of the
get you.
continent pushing down into it, okay? So, but really, for the sake of your diagrams, you don't necessarily have to show that in huge detail. Excuse me,
Yeah.
one second. Here, you see this red line called the MOHO line, yeah?
Yeah. I see that. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's a very important line for geologists and scientists because this actually marks the boundary between the oceanic crust and the top of the mantle, okay? And the significance of this is that it shows
Yeah.
where the lithosphere changes from crust to mantle because this part here, the very top part of the mantle is solid, but it's still part of the lithosphere, okay? And in the asthenosphere, which
Yeah.
lies just below that rigid part of the upper mantle, this is where you get the mantle convection currents. Okay, the heat has come to here. And do you know why the Earth's core is so hot?
Oh, it's due to the pressure, is it?
Yes, okay, it's the great pressure depth which has heated everything up, and that heat has to go somewhere. And what do you know about heat and hot air? What does hot air generally do? What do hot things
It
generally do? Do
rises.
they rise or do they sink? Yeah, okay, so you've got the center of the Earth, the hot core,
Yeah.
which is made of, do you know what the Earth's core is made of?
It's nickel, I think.
Yeah, yeah, but it's particularly iron. It's metallic. It's
Oh,
liquid
yeah.
iron, okay, or solid iron and nickel. And the heat from that